It is the RIOT podcast on RadioU. Happy Canada Day.
We'll get into that and how we celebrate, which I'll tell you a spoiler, we never did. Unless you do it on your own time today.
Yeah, we didn't prepare. And I was just kind of hoping that since it was my first Canada Day on the show, Nikki might make it special.
Okay, but I still feel like you shouldn't be saying we. You're the one. So
I warned you that it was coming up.
Well, no, you just told me in passing.
No, because we were talking about how we don't get July 4th off.
Oh, yeah. That.
And so we were going to do something special for Canada Day. And you said, we're going to do something special. And then...
We did. We did Christmas in July. That's special.
No, that's...
We didn't even end up playing any Canadian bands.
We've got 30 other days where we can do Christmas in July.
Sure.
We have one Canada Day.
I told
and we
Hudson
missed it.
After the show, I was like, listen, the border's still closed. I can't do anything. I can't help you out.
You could do something symbolic, even if it wouldn't be truly Canadian.
Maybe I don't even know. Like Tim Hortons is so like American though here at this point.
It counts. I'll take it.
It'll still count?
They have maple leaves on their cups. So that's good enough for me.
I think Tim Hortons has to do that so they get Canadian government money.
You think? I think they...
or do they bring their own money?
I don't know. They need some help in the United States. I don't know if it's going very well for them.
Not as good for them.
Yeah.
If you're in Canada, there's a lot of... Actually, if you're a band in Canada, there's lots of great government programs where they'll pay for like your music video and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is funny, except for when you get down to the end of the video, it's always like brought to you by the Canadian government. Yep. So we always can tell.
Canadian content laws.
Well, they have to have so much. If you're in Canada, like radio stations have to play so much Canadian-based band music.
30%, I think, on TV and in radio. Yep. So, it's brought us some good stuff. And if it's what's responsible for Tim Hortons in the United States,
then that's it.
Then I'm not complaining.
Well, we do have other
not even
stuff.
Our tax dollars.
We do have
Canada's.
other stuff instead of just Canada Day.
Yeah, because we didn't really talk about it that much.
No, but we do kick off our Christmas in July channel, which Hudson and I are a part of. So if you want to hear some RadioU Christmas music when you're done with the podcast, we cover a lot of that. If you check out RadioU.com, you can listen to it there. Download our RadioU app and our RadioU Roku channel while that goes on this month.
There's actually a lot of July 4th talk in the podcast. We, on Canada Day, focused more on America's birthday, where we talk about how PBR, the beer, is celebrating, not the professional bull riders. We also talked about how Krispy Kreme is celebrating and the list of America's most and least liked dogs.
Aww.
All America-centric today.
All judgy based on a picture of how they look.
Yeah. Well, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Apparently. Well, enjoy the rest of the podcast. There's hopefully some other goodies in there that you'll enjoy. And I guess we'll catch up with everybody tomorrow.
We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Did you bring your Christmas in July gift?
No, that's not what I was talking about at all.
Okay.
I'm so upset with you right now.
Why? What do you mean? Oh. It's Canada Day.
Yes. Thank you.
I completely missed that point. I apologize.
So what are we doing to celebrate?
Can I say everything I said for Christmas in July, and can that count for Canada Day?
Oh, you're just going to roll it in, huh?
Well, I want to lump it all together.
I think some donuts are in order or something. We need something. It can't just be a dreary Canada Day.
Well, what
that
were
gets
you
overshadowed
planning?
by Christmas.
Since you are
I didn't
Canadian,
plan anything.
Well, then what are we supposed to do? Is it like a birthday when I'm supposed to plan
it's
it for you?
It's Canada's birthday.
Well, yeah. So, like, who's supposed to do something?
I don't know.
Two. The only two in the room right now. Who's supposed to? The Canadian or the non-Canadian?
Yeah, I thought you would make a note of it, and I kind of thought you would have some kind of maple syrup, hockey, beaver, moose, and something involved where we would get to do where we would get to do something fun.
I actually really, truly, completely forgot. I don't mind taking care of like our 4th of July stuff this year because it's on a Sunday.
Yeah, so there's nothing to do.
I have to do. But for you, I think it is your responsibility.
Yeah.
If you want us to do something for Canadian Day, well, I could maybe find a couple Canadian artists.
There you go.
Maybe even ones that have a Christmas song.
Yep, I think so. I think we can play.
Work.
We can play Heat Miser by 1,000 Foot Crutch.
We can do that,
and that will be our
every hour
Canada Day celebration.
And if you want to stand up while it plays or something like that, whatever you do.
To be truthful with
your Canadian anthem,
I would have stopped at Tim Hortons to get us some Canadian fare from as Canadian as that can be in the United States, but they're not open early enough.
Oh, well, then that's their bad. They should be open all day.
That's right, especially on Canada. Well, they might be closed on Canada Day. I don't even know.
Well, if anybody else has any other good ideas, or for the Christmas in July, which I thought was the other main thing.
That's worth celebrating also.
We can celebrate both.
But that goes on for a whole month. Canada Day is once a year.
One day.
People who are the best get awards. People who are the worst get their own podcast. The Worst of the Riot.
Believe it or not, Nikki, I have a friend. A couple things about him. Mm-hmm. He is very much into sports. He's very athletic, and he is very much a hunter.
Yeah.
He'll go on trips to Colorado every whenever is hunting season. I don't know when it is, but he goes.
Not to minimize for if you don't go to Colorado, but to me that means like he's serious.
Yes. Well, there's better hunting there than there is in Maryland, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Is it a family member?
No, it is not actually.
It is a friend? Okay.
No, a close friend. And but he has told me that one of his life goals, and I don't know that he'll ever fulfill it, is he wants to be able to chase down a deer on foot.
And kill it?
Probably.
I mean,
but at least catch it. At least to be able to say, I caught a deer.
Like with his hands?
Yes, with my bare hands. Just by the power of my legs, I caught up to it and outsmarted it.
I don't want to squash anyone's dreams.
Yeah.
But that's a weird one.
It is weird.
Weird.
He is very athletic. I don't know how fast deer can run, but I still feel like that. Even if you're Usain Bolt, that'd be difficult to do.
Yeah, it's a different style of running.
Yep.
We just can't do that.
No, we only have 2 legs and they have 4. It's an unfair advantage. Well, wait till he finds out that this woman in a Walmart in Wisconsin tackled a deer.
See, he's in the wrong place.
Yep, he could have done it if he was in this Walmart.
So now your friend's going to be in the Walmart area all the time.
Yeah, well, he might have been there a lot anyways.
The deer was tackled and kicked out of the store by an employee.
Why'd they have to kick it out? Was it causing trouble?
It's not supposed to be in there.
Who says? Is there a sign?
I bet there is.
There's a sign. No antlers somewhere allowed.
They are anti-deer there.
Anti-antlers.
There's video of the, filmed by a witness of the lady as she pinned the deer to the floor, tackling it, and then they had to kick it out.
I am impressed. That is, even in Walmart where the deer, it might have been in close quarters, so it didn't have a lot of space, whereas if it was in the woods, it'd be a whole different story, but that's still impressive to be able to. It's not a small deer.
It's not.
It's probably got some weight behind it, so to jump on it like that.
I just think the deer's probably like, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah, he or she doesn't know what's going on here.
Do you want me to leave? You could have just said so.
I just wanted to get some great rollback prices.
I know. I'm looking for these Pop-Tarts that the Riot keep asking about. The banana cream ones. I heard they're an exclusive.
Yep.
I like bananas. They like bananas. So can I get some? And then I'll leave.
That deer, it didn't know what it was walking into there, and
well, the article said it wandered, so make up its mind. Was it running in? Yeah. Was it moseying in?
If it was just calmly walking around, why did you need to tackle it?
Well, actually, then there'd be no other way to catch it. Your friend probably knows that.
Yeah, no, he knows.
You're going to have to get on it and hold it down.
You're not going to bring down a deer by holding its hand and telling it a bedtime story.
Oh, it's little. What is it? A hoof? A paw? What is it? Hold its little.
Yeah, I think it's a hoof.
Yeah, you just hold that and just walk it on out.
Yeah, just lead it, and just give it a little guidance. Give it a good talking to. Say, hey, deer, listen. your kind isn't allowed in here. Okay.
Oh, gosh. We're not doing that. It's not.
It's just the terminology.
It's just not the right time for the deer to be in the store.
Yeah, it's just, we're not ready for that yet.
Yeah,
we're
that's
not ready to allow deer to.
It's not you, it's us.
Right.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki. Oh my God, no way. On Radio U.
No way, no way.
Mom and dad are fighting, Nikki.
I don't know who to believe. I mean, literally every day someone tells us differently.
You don't know who to believe.
Because it is the WHO.
The WHO.
The World Health Organization.
Yes. So here's the deal. We talked, I think it was last week, that the World Health Organization had changed their guidelines where they said, even if you're vaccinated, because of the Delta variants of the coronavirus now, they want you to still wear your mask and social distance.
Hand wash.
Even if you're vaccinated, they basically want you. I don't think they advocated for lockdowns, but I don't think anybody's going to do that really again.
Well, Sydney,
unless it
Australia
gets really bad.
Sydney, Australia just went back into lockdown.
But they had no vaccines.
They didn't have enough vaccines.
Right.
Everybody was very mad that they had only ordered 4% for the entire population.
Yeah, so they were behind on that. I should clarify. I don't think but who even knows? I don't think it's very likely that in the United States, anybody will try to reinforce pretty strict lockdowns, and I don't think most places would have it. I think people would have given up on that.
I don't know how else to explain it, but it's like when you go on a carb-free diet and then you go back to having a carb and you can never go back to the carb-free diet.
That's right. Yep.
It's almost like everybody's kind of on that level. So the World Health Organization was saying that, and now the CDC, which is our organization,
for the United States only,
just recognized here. It's not recognized worldwide.
Right.
They have something else to say.
Yeah, they say, really the opposite. They want to stand by the mask guidelines that they came out with a while ago, which means if you're vaccinated, they say you're fine. And they still, of course, said that if you're not vaccinated, they still recommend getting vaccinated, wearing masks, stuff like that. But of course, nobody's listening to that. But if you are vaccinated, the CDC wants you to know it's okay. So who do we trust?
Well, they say
the world or the United States.
They say, though, there is a qualifier that you don't need to wear masks in most situations. Mm-hmm. So, let's say you go to just some massive event.
Yep. We got a lot of concerts coming up. A lot of big tours have been announced. So if you're going to be inside at that.
Yeah, even if you are vaccinated, they say just because of the sheer volume, that there might be still some places that would benefit you to wear it. But for the most part, they're saying the opposite. So no one knows what to do.
Well, maybe we just wear a mask every other weekend and on holidays. We get two, and then one of the 2 Christmases we wear masks.
I think I'll just put one on the ear. When you loop it on the ear and you just hang it down.
Yep.
Just
or
let
wear
it
under
there.
your chin just to give the illusion that if somebody from the World Health Organization walks in, you can put it on real quick
and
act like you've been wearing it the whole time.
Is there?
Yeah.
So they don't why are you wearing it?
Yeah. Just in case you get close to me, very, very close. And I didn't know if you were vaccinated.
It is hard that, different organizations say different things. Mm-hmm. So it is hard to know which one you're supposed to go with.
I think we've all, for better or worse, we've all decided we're not going to listen. We're just going to do our own thing now, which is not wear masks.
Decide what your thing is.
But does anybody else think, though, it is kind of nice? And of course, it's all probably coincidental or whatever. But Nikki and I have talked about how it was nice how we did not get sick for the whole past year.
Anything.
Because we were wearing masks. So anything that can be transferred, whether it's COVID or otherwise, was a lot harder to transfer. And you just weren't around people as much. So, but then now, since the masks have gone away, I've noticed so many more people that are my friends. I still haven't gotten sick.
Yeah.
But so many other people that didn't get sick the whole time, all of a sudden now, they've got
colds.
the sniffles. They've got, just various ailments that they're going through.
Well, it was all the cleaning too we did.
Right.
So I do kind of miss some of that. No one wants the other sickness stuff that's being offered.
Just because it's not going to hospitalize you or anything or kill your grandma doesn't mean that we all need to, that we all shouldn't be keeping our hands clean and try not to cough on one another.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
have you ever noticed how we only seem to really learn lessons when like a big disaster happens?
Oh, yeah.
Like the COVID is the perfect example because there's all this talk about how we weren't prepared for such a thing. Well, that's because we haven't experienced a pandemic like that in 100, like none of us were alive when the whatever it was called, the Spanish flu or whatever, 100 years ago. So any of the lessons learned from that had worn off. And of course, there's probably lots of stuff we could have learned between here and there so that we could have been prepared, but we weren't. We did not know what was coming. And only now that it's starting to subside, are we going to start to learn and put into some things in practice for going forward that by the time the next one comes around, we'll have forgotten again. And it's not
that's
just
a cycle.
It's not just like the government that does that, although that's like where it's super evident, but it's in our lives too. Like a lot of times we don't really realize we need to make a change about stuff. We don't realize there's lessons we need to learn until something really bad happens in our life. But like, let's be honest. There's lessons we can all be learning every day. You don't have to wait until things go horribly wrong for you to change, for you to find something that you can be doing better. And one of the ways you can find ways to do stuff better is to let God show you. Because Jesus sees all that stuff that we should be learning throughout life, all that stuff that if we continue down the certain path, it will lead to something going horribly wrong to teach us a lesson one day. But God doesn't want it to get to that point, and I'm sure you don't either.
Small little changes can help us a lot more than we realize,
yes.
So it doesn't become a big problem.
We can each improve every single day, and I don't think anybody can dispute that. So how do you want to change? God's ready to help you. God's ready to show you how you can change every day, a little bit, learning a little bit of a lesson so that you can hopefully avoid going down the eventual disaster path. And sure, like bad stuff is going to happen. A lot of it's out of your control, but a lot of it can be avoided if you just start to pay attention a little more to what God has to say. Jesus wants to help you. He wants to guide you through life, to show you a better way to do things. And it's as simple as asking him. It's as simple as saying, God, I'm ready. I'm ready to change. It's not easy, but I know you can help me out with it. And so I want you to start showing me how I can do stuff better. God, I want you to walk through me with life and give me a better way to do things and help me avoid some of the terrible stuff that could happen one day. And God will. He'll start talking to you. And if you want to know more, RadioU.com/free gift, you can check that out. And that's a great place to start.
The Riot Radio U.
This is July. The first week of July is fun because we have so much stuff going on with Canada Day and Bobby Bonilla Day. And
we didn't know the list was so long.
It is long, but everybody's looking forward to, at the end of the week, 4th of July, and that includes Krispy Kreme, which for some reason didn't put out a maple donut for Canada Day today. But
on Sunday they have this.
They do have a set of 4 4th of July donuts that I believe you can get today through July 4th.
Okay.
It doesn't specify in this story, but I'm pretty sure that that's the case. So here's what we have.
I want to be in the meeting when they're... Krispy Kreme's, I feel like, is on overdrive.
They are.
When it comes to these theme pack of donuts, and it's normally 4.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, let's just get all the patriotic words in.
I don't know how they do it either, because... Like if you go to, or like when I worked at Panera, or here at Radio U, to do one simple thing at this one radio station, it involves so much planning.
Yes.
And then still you wind up forgetting something. And like at Panera, they would send us the stuff, the new menu items that would be sent way in advance, and you'd see videos on it way in advance, and you'd have to learn how to prepare it or whatever. Krispy Kreme is doing something every week for all of their thousands of locations across the country.
How
And
do they
somehow
get 'em all right?
They're keeping it all, like everybody's on the same page.
I hate to tell you, but the heart of it is always still the same. The basic donut.
Yeah, it's just different
still
coloring.
The same, different coloring, different flavoring it with it. But there'll be the Freedom Ring donut.
Yep.
Which is just the original one that has stripes and sprinkles, so it looks like an American flag.
Uh-huh.
The Patriotic Sprinkled Ring Donut, which is dipped in white icing with red, white, and blue sprinkles.
Yep.
A Strawberry Shortcake Donut filled with strawberry cream, red icing, gold stars, a cream dollop, and shortbread crumbles.
So like, you know what I like? Those good humor strawberry shortcake bars.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
It sounds like that, and I love those things.
And the final and most patriotic of them all will be the patriotic Eagle donut with cookies and cream filling. So I feel like they're just adding like leftover toppings and filling that they had because they had the cookies and cream thing for something a little bit ago. Dipped in blue icing, red and white stripes, topped with an eagle, a sugar piece eagle. So that's the collection for today through Sunday.
It sounds tasty. What are the odds that we can get these? That we can get these for our after show tomorrow.
Oh, do you want to have donuts?
Donuts while we play Mario. Yeah.
Well, tomorrow we're doing Mario Golf. Nothing also says America, like
Mario.
a little golf.
So a game from Japan starring Italian man.
Well, it's everybody. Yeah. All right. We have love for everybody.
America. It's a melting pot.
That's right. It's a donut. And we're all in it.
Yep.
So maybe Sunday or tomorrow we should do that because they're only through Sunday from Krispy Kreme.
We'll see if we can DoorDash them like we did the last time with Krispy Kreme.
We can't afford it.
I
As a
know
station, we can't afford it.
I know that it's, I'll go out and pick them up.
Oh, you will?
I'll run over and I won't even charge a delivery fee.
Riot Podcast, RadioU.
I have here the official undisputed list of the favorite dogs of the United States.
Going into 4th of July?
Yep, of course.
Can you be proud of the dog that you have? Is it ranked high on the list?
Is it the most American dog, the favorite dog of the United States? So this is from YouGov, and they did this. Sometimes you see, like, the American Kennel Club will come out with, like, the top most owned dogs.
Yeah.
But that's not what this is. This is what they actually did was they surveyed a bunch of people, and in the survey, they would just give them 2 dogs at a time. Like they would put up a beagle against a basset hound, and it'd just be like, which one do you like better? And you do a bunch of those if you are one of the people taking the survey. And then with all of those matchups added together, these are ranked by what percentage of the time the dog won.
So these are the most liked dogs in America.
Yes. So let's see. Let's start at number 5. Shetland sheepdog.
Oh, those can be cute.
Yeah, like that's looks like Lassie based off of the picture.
Yeah.
Number 4 is an Entelbucher mountain dog.
What is that?
I don't know.
I wouldn't even know that if I had a list I was taking about it.
I guess people must have just liked the picture. Or maybe the name. I don't know. Number 3 is an Alaskan Malamute.
Oh, those are cute.
Yeah, they're very similar to Huskies. 2 is a Golden Retriever.
Hey, now, okay, so for my dogs, I have Golden Pyrenees.
Yep.
They're Great Pyrenees and Golden Retrievers. Mine counts then.
All right.
I'm taking that one for a win.
Your Great Pyrenees is in at 21, so you have 2 of the top 21
and
best dogs.
You're like, wow, that's putting it together. That must be amazing. They have their ups and downs with the combination of both of them.
Well, they must be huge, right?
It's weird. My one dog, they're sisters. So I have 2 of them. Sugar, she weighs in a bit over 100 pounds.
Oh, geez.
And has been told to let's top out it there by the vet. But she looks one way. She looks very much like a retriever. And then the sister, Cinnamon, she's only like 45 pounds. And she looks like a coyote.
Wow.
Like it's really but she has more like Pyrenees. So she's fluffier and the other's not. So they look different.
And then, the number 1 is Labradors.
Of course.
Yes, of course. So there's your top list. If you look down the whole list, they've got the top 30 here. And almost all of them, there's a few that I'm not familiar with, but almost all of them are the bigger dogs. Like there's not a lot of French bulldogs, Boston Terriers, Chihuahuas. They're just not on this list of the top favorites.
Fluffy big dogs. My other dog is a soft-coated Wheaten Terrier, and that didn't make the list.
That didn't. That's very specific, though. I don't know. I don't even know what that is.
What does your dog have?
It's not exactly known.
Okay, so it's an unknown.
It's an unknown.
You haven't done the doggy DNA test?
Well, when you buy your dog off of Craigslist for $50,
and the test costs more.
Yep. You don't necessarily. You just are happy to have a dog.
I know.
But she, I believe, is a mix of a Rottweiler and some kind of sheepdog or a collie or whatever. So she's got a big fuzzy tail that wags all over the place that I'm afraid is going to break off one day. And she's about 50 pounds, and she's a lot of fun.
I think we could all agree. If you're a dog owner, it doesn't matter what type your dog is.
Yep.
You just love them so much. They're
It's
the
number
best.
one on your list, but not the. If you have a small dog, the rest of the country does not agree.
Or if they're not dog owners and they still took this test, they don't think they look good enough to be the most like dogs.
That's right. Your dog is not pretty enough.
That's
Sorry.
all right. We're not offended at all.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
There was also more for the favorite most like dogs. We didn't even notice what was at the bottom of the story.
Yeah, we buried the lead here because we talked about the top dogs, the most loved according to a YouGov survey.
Basically, Labrador retrievers and golden retrievers.
Yep, they're popular. The bigger dogs are at the top of the list, and as far as size. Then at the bottom of the list, though, we have the least liked dogs in America.
Why do they have to call them out? Why can't they just let the list fade away?
Yeah, well, because I don't know. Why do we have to make these dogs feel bad? It's hard to look at some of these and say that they deserve it.
Well, it was 193 dogs,
Yep.
and they did a head-to-head matchup. So they were asked to like this dog or that dog, this
Right.
dog or that dog. And then, of course, there has to be the bottom of the list.
Yeah, there
And
has to
some
be
of
the dogs that just did not win any of the matchups.
Some of these you recognize it when you see it, but
Yeah.
you didn't know its name or its breed.
So this is the bottom six. There's the Commodore and then the Poolie, which are both the kind of dogs that would have like they look like mops, like they're
The twisted hair.
yeah, they're all dreadlocky, and then
How do you take care of that dog?
it's a lot of work.
I don't think I could do that.
You get somebody else to do it for you. You hire a groomer.
Well, even that seems like a lot more
Their
work.
full-time job is just brushing the dog's hair.
And then, you can't because it's supposed to stay twisted. Like you have to work on it. And
yeah.
then a Pekingese was after.
Which I found a Pekingese that had escaped from somebody's house. Man, it deserves to be at the bottom of the list.
Was
I mean,
it
I
not
felt
nice.
No, I mean, the dog was very calm once we had caught it and everything. But man, it was gross. And
Hold back,
it's still
why
a
don't
dog.
you?
It's still a dog. So I still had to rescue it, and I took care of it as best as I could. But until we found its owner. But man, it was
You were
gross.
glad to give it back?
Yeah, I was not. It wasn't hard to give it up. Let's just say that.
Well, this is a hard list to hear for the liked and least liked because this is solely based on looks.
Right.
Unless you know enough about the dog
Right.
to judge it another way.
Because nobody has experienced all 193 dog breeds, and nobody has owned or petted a lot of these. So it's hard, but you're just going off the picture and what you might know about it. But then the bottom three, Azawaks, then a Borzoi, and then a Chinese Crested.
The Chinese crested one, if you remember like the world's ugliest dog competition, there was that really rough-looking dog.
Yeah.
I think that's that dog.
Yeah.
But I think that dog had some other unique,
Yep. Some specific issues to that dog.
perhaps.
Yep. But this
one's not the worst, but it looks like it has no hair except for
like a mullet, like an
mullet?
80s style hairdo.
I'm looking at the dog's hair. I was like, wow, it looks like you have human like style hair on
Right,
the
it's
head,
wearing
but
a
nothing on the
wig.
body.
And then the other two, I don't understand why the other two are near the bottom because it's not like they're really furry or anything. They just kind of have the more.
Well, did you call it an
Azawaks?
That just looks nervous. So I think that's
I don't
probably
know.
why.
And then the Borzoi has more of a like dopey looking face, just
Listen,
like
we're judging now.
yeah.
We just should
sorry.
have said the breed. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's. I don't know. I'm just trying to paint a picture of maybe why it's near the bottom of the list, but I think it's that the list is wrong for the bottom choice. Those two bottom choices because they look fine to me.
If your dog didn't even make it on the list, not even at the bottom, just give your dog a hug and say you didn't want to be on it anyway.
Right. You're still number one in my heart, and that's good enough.
The equivalent of someone's lint collection. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Man, for the 4th of July, PBR, the beer company, they are going all out, like really all out.
Well, I'm starting to get worried about the size of this one, and just like, hey guys, just to let you know.
The amount of alcohol stories we've been seeing lately, and just what they want you to do with it. I feel, what are we trying to deal with something here? Like, or are we trying to not deal with something maybe?
I don't know, but PBR, they have a giant pack, and this is not for like sale or something.
No, so you wouldn't be able to get this in the store.
To me, I'm actually surprised that they can do this as an advertising thing because of the sheer volume of it. But they've picked 4 creators or like well-known people that they're sending a pack of beer for 4th of July.
The largest pack ever.
1,776, so 1776.
Yep.
And someone's like, why? We're not going to cover that today, okay? But the 1,776 beers in that. And so then that way they can promote those 4 people chosen can promote to you on 4th of July and throughout like the rest of the summertime. Is it Pabst or how
Pabst Blue? I mean, everybody just calls it PBR.
No, I don't.
You don't. You don't call it anything, do you?
I don't even know anything about it.
PBR is one of the like.
It's old, isn't it?
If you listen to country songs now, they're always talking about PBR because it's like the standard cheap beer that you would have if you were, I don't know, like it's not as bad as Keystone Light or something, like the really cheap beer where you really are drinking just almost water and you're calling it beer. But PBR is the very cheap beer that is for some reason acceptable.
Well, I guess they also have a 99 pack that it floats around or something that people can see, but this one is 1776, 1,776.
If you're wondering, 1776 is the year that America was founded. Mm-hmm. So that's the significance of it.
I didn't actually think anybody was wondering.
No,
but
I guarantee you people are wondering.
Well, I'll tell you what, by the end of your 1,776, you'll forget.
You won't remember what the point of it all was.
You won't even know you're in America.
No, you're drinking to forget at that point.
I don't know. Be very careful. Be very, very
careful. This is, if for these creators, these influencers, they definitely, disclaimer, need to separate these all out. You don't drink them too fast, all right? Just because you have 1,776 beers doesn't mean that you can drink them all. Like, just pace yourself, okay?
They don't want to get in trouble with the promotion of that. If they don't do it some other way.
So just spread, maybe take about a couple years and go through them that fast, because otherwise you might have some issues.
I'm just waiting for Diet Dr. Pepper to say challenge accepted.
Yeah, right.
Here's our 1776 pack of Dr. Peppers.
We should space those out as well. You don't want to go too far in too quickly.
You almost missed hearing this one. We just couldn't let that happen. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
The West has just gone through a serious heat wave that is still causing issues and still telling people it's too dry. You can't have fireworks and stuff like that. Wildfires could break out and have been breaking out, at least in Canada. So the West has gone through all of that. And Texas and now the East Coast, where in New York City, they are warning residents to try to dial back a little bit on their energy consumption, because with the heat wave, it's going to put a strain on the power grid. It is putting a strain on the power grid, and they have the potential for widespread blackouts as well.
Now, it has made people mad. And you're like, whatever for? Well, believe it or not, when you're going through a heat wave and you're hot, when anybody tells you anything, you're going to be a bit more aggravated than maybe you would being the 60-degree weather.
Right.
When someone tells you something. So in New York City, they've had thousands of people have had power outages, and they say that many more could be coming for New York City. The problem is a lot of the neighborhoods, even some of them, have been pretty close to a place called Times Square. Now, if you go to Times Square and you're like, wow, look at all this stuff. How is this stuff running?
Yeah. Big and beautiful and bright.
It seems to have plenty of energy to get to it. So some New Yorkers are saying, hey, we live here.
Yep.
How about we direct some of the energy that we're having a problem with getting for like our air conditioning and our houses away from some of the more flashier things that New York City has for tourism. And then not, because people living there were notified that they might lose power more often. often.
Yeah.
But then they go see like the big billboards on Times Square, like go ahead and shut some of that stuff off and redirect.
Maybe turn off the Coca-Cola ads and let people use their air conditioning. Maybe shut down the lights on Broadway. Nobody needs to go see Hamilton.
Nothing.
Let's just...
it's not even going.
And how about we just keep it that way, actually? And then we'll make it so that people can use their ovens.
So this is similar to what Texas kind of went through when they had that heat wave, but I haven't heard of them like actually physically turning things up or down or off for them.
Yeah, well, they may not be actually allowed to, unlike in Texas where they were.
Because that's their own power grid.
Right.
But so New York City is urging all households. This was an emergency alert that went out yesterday afternoon. Businesses and households should immediately limit energy to prevent power outages as the intense heat continues. Avoid the use of energy-intensive appliances like washers, dryers, microwaves, and limit the unnecessary use of air conditioning, which is not a statement.
When it's a heat wave, it's not unnecessary.
It's absolutely necessary. Take everything else, but please get people their air conditioning.
I think if I was in Texas, I would be feeling a little better because they were the first to go through this, and we were all like, "Oh, Texas, you're messing with people's air conditioning during a heat wave. You're going to lose power. What's wrong with you?" And now everywhere else is also doing that. Having their own issues where they can't keep the power going because it's just too hot. So
but you still
we've all got our own problems.
Who has it worse, though? You get to the Pacific Northwest where you don't have air conditioning to even help you in the first place, or you have it.
Yep, and you're not allowed to use it.
Not to use it.
Yeah.
But you're
probably the second one.
You're probably still paying for it.
Right. It's not like your electricity bill is going to go down. They should give you a break if you ever get a blackout. But I know from what happened in Texas during the winter storms that they don't really do that.
So that was New York City. They just want you to limit your... Wait, I just love the line. Yeah. Limit the unnecessary use of air conditioning. I know they mean like if you get extravagant
like don't turn it down to 60 when it's 110 outside.
And I would.
Yeah.
I'd go as low as it could go.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no, I missed it. Do it again.
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.